Gender where it's at, dude.
Welcome to an episode of Into the West Comics. My name is Frank. It's about 147 degrees outside. We're feeling the traffic. It's a Labor Day weekend. Sunny is here.
Oh, what's going on, boys? How we doing? Oh, there I am. Cocoa butter looking good today.
You're looking good. We had to call an audible. We got the hot dog over there in Shane's little sleeper cell.
Sleeper cell. Oh, what to do, baby? I'm in the. Evidently, you can put Paul in the corner.
I don't think you can.
Well, you know, you look
Not baby, though.
You look great.
Thanks.
And,
I feel great.
Paul, attorney at law.
No.
And he's fresh off his journey into I don't want you Amazon Prime. Into the West, presented by Amazon Prime.
Not his journey into Amazon Prime.
Live and direct to you from downtown Las Vegas. We're powered by Gorilla Cross. The Dawn is here.
The dawn.
Is it secret? Is it safe? And I will say, Rings of the Power, it is secret. It is safe.
Ooh.
And I can't wait to talk about it.
Ooh.
It's very, very good.
Yeah.
And joining us, maybe for I don't know, the first time, and we got to schedule this. He was pressed for time, but Mr. Marcus Tolliver joining us this evening.
Thanks, God.
What's going on, brother? Welcome. He's like, I like that intro.
Yeah, that was good. That was good.
What's going on, brother? Welcome in.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Guys, we're excited. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. We have a lot of stuff to get into in the next coming weeks. But for right now, we got another episode of Sonny's favorite show.
I'm having fun with this show.
She-Hulk debuted its third episode last night. I don't know if Sonny stayed up. Maybe you were setting up your little gamer lounge last night.
It's called the Command Center.
I'm sorry. Apologies.
Correct.
Apologies.
The command. Okay, Captain Kirk.
No, dude, you guys saw it. It's pretty dope, right?
Yes.
I did stay up. I watched it.
Commander Sonny.
And I watched it again this morning for Shane. I'm having fun. I know there's a lot of hate, and the episodes are a little short. It's kind of goofy. This cameo was bonkers, but funny. I'm having a lot of fun with this show.
You did not sell me just now. You did not sell me.
We'll talk a little bit more after the show. Then.
Oh my
Sonny,
goodness.
We're gonna sell you on the show. It's great. It's good. It's so good.
Donovan, did you get a chance to see?
I did. I watched it right before I got here. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it was a lot of fun as far as what the show is achieving. There's a couple moments where she breaks the fourth wall, but right at the beginning, she breaks the fourth wall and says, there's not going to be a bunch of cameos in this. And she goes, well, wait, maybe there is, but this is still my show, which is, I think, nice because I think people see that and they go, oh, I can't wait to see what cameos. But so the writers are definitely trying to make sure that this show and this character has her own identity, which I think is super important for any character to have longevity. In this case, they did that really well, but she plays off of everyone really, really well. She's nailing the role, and I'm just as convinced as Mark Ruffalo being our Hulk as her being our She-Hulk. I've come to really enjoy this character. The episode as a whole was okay. It wasn't amazing. I mean, having an appearance from Wong in it, and some of the stuff with Emil Blonsky, and then the elf shapeshifter from New Asgard,
that was good.
Amazing,
posing as Megan the Stallion. I think the Megan the Stallion thing, and even the post-credits thing, was a little too forced to see if we can hey, let's get Megan the Stallion on the show.
For sure.
That's fine. I'm not going to hate on that, but again, Frank kind of touched on it on our group text that we have during the week, having House of Dragons and now Lord of the Rings and some of these other shows out. It's nice to get away because I am starting to feel a little bit of the Marvel fatigue that's happening. As I wear a Marvel shirt, a Marvel periodic table shirt. No, but I am feeling a little Marvel fatigue as far as okay, I have to be here for this, be here for that. Why watch? I don't mind it. I do really, really love it a lot, but I am waiting for the shoe to drop when it comes to my MCU stuff. I'm waiting for something to happen, and right now nothing is happening. Really, and I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I am waiting for the hat to drop.
The next thing.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next thing, and hopefully we get that either in the next episode or hopefully within a new trailer for Wakanda Forever comes out soon, or maybe we'll get it at D23 in a couple of weeks or next weekend. So that's what I'm hoping for. But overall, this show is doing exactly what I thought it was going to do. We are who they thought they were. We let him off the hook.
Embracing his inner Dennis Green.
Yeah, thank you.
Nice.
So, but yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Sweet.
Mr. Tolliver.
Yes.
Comic talk.
Yes.
What do you think?
Actually, I'm enjoying it. I was kind of the first episode was okay, well, we're setting up. We got a lot of new fans. Some people probably have never even knew there was a She-Hulk.
Yeah.
So we got to introduce the new people as well as have a little something for the older people, or older fans.
It's true.
Whatever.
It's true.
We're older. You can say it.
Yeah.
I think what you were talking about, bridging the gap between people that don't have no idea who She-Hulk is, and then you bring in a young crowd. The Megan Thee Stallion thing was clearly shot afterwards, I'm pretty sure, and they were just let's kind of
They had leaked that.
Let's put this in.
A couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, she was supposed to be in it or whatever.
Right.
So
I don't know. She had joined the MCU.
I'm like, God, no. I'm like, God, no.
Who is she playing?
Imagine a version of the show where she is what Tatiana Maslany turns into when she turns into the Hulk.
Oh my God.
Like Lou Ferrigno style, except it was Meg the Stallion.
That would be amazing.
I love
that.
Kind of get behind that.
It kind of seems like they're trying to, even with, trying to appease all the different segments of the fans, it almost seems like they're trying to shout out and acknowledge all of the people who are watching, the types of people who are watching. There are people who are just watching just so they can tweet about it or put on their Instagram, oh yeah, this person's in it, versus the people who are actually watching it because they want to see the actual story, character development, and how she's going to weave in and, where's Daredevil?
They use a lot of source material, and there's a lot of callbacks. You hear one of the reporters talking to her about, was this a mob hit?
Yes,
because
that's
that's the thing that generated the original origin of her in the comics was a mob hit, and then she gets a blood transfusion from her cousin.
I saw a quick 3-minute interview or a 3-minute clip of a full interview with the writer and the director of the show on Twitter, and she was talking about how they had all these ideas to put these sort of references and Easter eggs into the show, and they brought it to Kevin Feige, and they were like, hey, can we do this? Is this possible? And he would either say, yes, this is good, you're good to put them in, or no, we have something for them in the future. And one of them was being the post-credit scene for Shang-Chi. They wanted to have Abomination be a part of She-Hulk, and they didn't know how they were going to do it and have Abomination be in the show. So they planted the seed, which I thought was genius, way ahead in Shang-Chi.
Way ahead.
For
that's awesome.
This show, which I think is, again, a testament to Kevin Feige and the people at Marvel who really think about this stuff. How are we going to introduce these people back into the MCU after they've been gone for a long time? And I think it's a kudos to the writers of the show who had the foresight to go, hey, can we put this in here so that it plays off in the end for us over here? I think that's really, really smart writing and smart thinking on their behalf, because so far this is number 3 for me as far as the MCU TV shows have gone.
Wow. Okay.
I've really, really enjoyed this. For me, it's right now it's still Loki at number 1.
Always.
Number 2 is Hawkeye, and then this one's number 3, and Captain Falcon and Winter Soldier of 4. So
Wow.
I'm really enjoying this show. So I'm hoping that more things like this happen. But again, waiting for the shoe to drop, people.
Yeah.
Let's get something going. Let's get some mutants. Let's.
Hot Dog, do you think that it's more fatigue with you? Because I know you really haven't been enjoying this show a ton. Do you think it's more of a Marvel fatigue? Is it just like a genuine, not much interest in this character?
Well, I wouldn't even say I'm not enjoying the show. I think the first episode was fun. I think it was everything it could have been, but I'm just at a point where the last few shows with characters that I am less than invested in have not been great. So I'm not going to watch every single week a character that I don't care about. Like, let me ask Frank and Marcus, when you go to the comic book store, do you buy every character's comic? A comic for every character? No.
Marcus, don't say anything.
You read the comics for the characters that you're interested in. That could be a certain amount of characters, but even if you do, like, if you collect like all of them every week, you don't sit down and read them all every week. Maybe you do. I don't know. Not me.
He's like, I'm going to stay quiet.
I think what Paul's saying, it brings up a really good point about as far as like Marvel is what they're doing is they're trying to get how we consume comic books to be in a different medium. Like the way we read our comics should be the same way we watch our movies in an interconnected story. And I think that's a great point. Like you don't read She-Hulk, so why would I watch She-Hulk?
Right.
And if I have to, then I will go back because I think you're right. I mean, there are times where I'm like, I remember doing the Nightfall series. There was a few series that happened with Deathstroke that you needed to follow with Bruce going to England and that whole part of him finding himself and getting his healing and falling in love with I forget her name, but they end up having a romantic relationship. He gets married and all this stuff happens, and I'm like, I guess I should read this. And I'm glad that I did in the end because his victory over Azrael and that whole sequence was absolutely amazing. But but I think Paul's right. We don't have to watch everything unless it's needed. And when it's done, I'm sure you're going to watch all of them in sequential order.
And because of all the positiveness in this room specifically, because I care a little bit more about your guys' opinions than just the average opinion on the internet, I am more inclined to go watch it. I may even, even Quan's. I may even go watch it tonight. All of them tonight. But I'm just, for the longest time, no matter what character Marvel made a film or TV show for, it was very good. And I was not so overly concerned with which character it was as much I was like, hey, this is going to be a Marvel movie. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. We're at a point, I personally have reached a point where I'm like, not everything that's coming out is incredible. And I'm not seeing these trailers and being as in awe and as, oh, that's definitely going to be good as I once was. Where I think a good comparison for myself is with Christopher Nolan. I've never watched a Nolan movie where I'm like, oh, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
There's some of them that are a little like over the top in like concept, but I still really enjoy those. So when a Christopher Nolan movie or trailer comes out, I don't care what it's about.
Yeah.
I'm interested in it. That's how I was with Marvel, but I've gotten to the point where I'm like, I'm not there anymore. They got to earn that back from me in whatever way. They don't have to do anything, but for me to watch every Thursday, no matter what the character is, because Moon Knight was the one that really kind of made me go,
what I was about to get into.
I'm done watching these every Thursday night.
We can get into that. We were before we started. We were like, I wish like Moon Knight kind of ended like faster in the episodes because I was stoked for Moon Knight.
Right.
I'm thinking this is going to be the badass show that we were looking for.
There it is.
But it ended up kind of being all over the place. And then even there, like CGI got wonky towards the end. Story kind of went all over the place.
So the first episode was really good.
First episode was awesome.
Right. Yeah. Great character development.
Oh my
great,
god!
Solid,
I'm like, this is going to be amazing. Right. And then second episode, I'm like, okay, are we gonna? Is the show
Where
gonna
are you
get
at
good?
on She-Hulk?
Yeah, right.
I enjoy it for what it is.
Yeah.
I think it's a funny show.
Yeah.
I didn't have really high expectations, and it's about met that.
Yeah.
I think it's funny. It's entertaining.
Yeah.
I think that she's really good, and I think it's. I mean, we're gonna get to this in a second. I think it kind of will get lost in the shuffle when Andor comes out, and
Really?
Rings of Power and start watching that and House of the Dragon, I'll just kind of and football season's like a week away. I just have like there's more stuff to watch, and I think the show is just going to get
football season.
It's I know you are. You covered the draft for us exclusively.
Yeah, for real.
We appreciate that.
I think it's going to kind of get lost in the shuffle, and then I'll end up watching like 2 or 3 episodes at a time. Am I making sense, Marcus?
Right. Yeah. You are.
Right, yeah.
Because I kind of, jumping back to what Paul was saying earlier, it feels like I feel like he does, but it's more coming from a position of being disheartened because of the Moon Knight, and the very the pacing was just off.
So off.
It was just movie style slow pacing.
Exactly.
For a
30-minute show, bro.
And you need to, if you only have 6
episodes,
you need to get going.
Yeah.
Hawkeye was perfect.
Amazing. I went into there thinking, I'm like, oh, a Hawkeye story, whatever. Christmas time, whatever. There's episodes where we're like,
and we kind of felt like that.
Yeah,
We weren't really excited about the show.
So if we had the Moon Knight, if we had the Hawkeye pacing for Moon Knight, and we kind of just jumped in, and even if we didn't get the origin, if we kind of got that later, and maybe just came in just kicking butt right away, then that would have been so much better.
I do think psychologically, though, people are going into these shows thinking that we're going to get Civil War, Endgame, and Infinity War with some of these shows. And I think people need to gauge their expectations a little better as far as what they're receiving, because to the point, like, okay, it's She-Hulk, not a super popular character in the Marvel universe as far as readability and all that stuff. That's not to say that there are a lot of fans out there that
100%.
love the character. I'm sure there is, but if you were to say who's been read more, Captain America or She-Hulk,
I mean
it's a large.
She-Hulk blows him out of the water, and that's all I'm trying to say. No,
obviously.
no,
clearly.
But to that point, though, I think that we need to stop gauging our expectations for it to be this most amazing cinematic experience when it comes to our Marvel shows, because like reading, there's going to be some that you really like, and there's going to be amazing crossover one shots and things that we see. We're like, that was amazing! Like, oh my god, I can't believe we got Crisis on Infinity here. It's like this is amazing, and then it's like, oh, we're going to go hang out with Black Adam, and
yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
dude, I learned to curve my expectations after WandaVision was finished, because we went in there like Mephisto this, and then this, and then Reed Richards this, and then
there's that tease too of her brother from another film universe and then they threw us
Ralph Boner,
and
dude.
they threw us a boner.
Yo,
threw us a boner joke.
You say that, and I'm like, they actually
did that.
Real life did that. Like, that's
real
a
life
thing
did
that happened.
Yeah,
and they could have did anything else, and especially when we went so hard thinking like
they trolled us big time.
Dude, the Mephisto theories, I was saying Mephisto every single episode of this show for weeks, dude, because I'm like, oh well, he's got to show up. It's good.
Everybody leaned into that.
Yeah, it's clear.
All the YouTubers,
there's like the oil painting, and
people.
there's the devil, and then there's something else, and every time they mentioned anything, but now moving forward, I'm like, all right, I'm going to go into the show. I'm going to think that this is going to be good. I'm going to watch it, but I don't think Reed Richards is going to show up. I don't think this is going to happen. So when things are fun, like She-Hulk, I do enjoy having a good time. I have no expectation of something giant happening or some kind of incursion or something like that. I'm just like, this is really fun. It's funny. The character is awesome. The CG sucks. Real bad, bro.
That's pretty funny.
Real bad, bro. There's a scene where she walks into the office when you watch this episode, and she looks like Gumby, bro. She's
not Gumby,
bro.
Damn.
It's bad.
I'd tell you, it looks worse when she's doing the TV interview.
Oh yeah. Oh, her mouth doesn't even. It was.
Yeah,
it was
that
very.
That was like, it's a little rough.
So if you could,
but again, that plays into like, again, like Bruce Banner. They have that template they've been working on for 10 years, and they've just probably captured her face within the last 2 years to get everything right. And there's no texture on her face because she's smooth 100%. And all that stuff. So I give the benefit of that. I will say the lip thing was a little wonky, but that to me that's real nitpicky as far as
okay. But then you go into watching. Spoiler alert after credits.
Do you know why? Do you know why though? And I want to say this real quick because and I mean this.
I'm gonna get him back for this. Remember when he was talking about I was doing?
There is no. And I'm gonna let you finish. I promise. But I want to get this point across. There is no such thing as a She-Hulk in real life.
Right,
There
right.
is
There's
no
no reference, there's no
green
reference.
big
Well,
woman
not
in
to
the
you.
world. Right. There is no Captain America. There is no other superheroes that are out there. So I think that when we go, oh, the CG looks so unrealistic. Really more unrealistic than
It not
gamma radiation
Right. That's
getting
a
into
good
your
point.
blood
That's
cell
a
and
good
going, you
point.
turning into a big green mind going, "Argh!" like there's a benefit of the doubt there. So
Fair.
that's
Jurassic
all I'll
Park
say.
ruined that for us. If people were
Fair.
having heart
Yes.
attacks when they saw the robotic versions of the dinosaurs
Yeah, 'cause they
in
actually-
Hawaii, people were like fainting and stuff. They're
My
freaking
grandmother
out.
thought that she goes, I can't believe they got
Like, I
real
went to the
dinosaurs. I'm
hospital.
like, Grandma.
I used to
That was me at like 6.
at Universal Studios where the T-Rex ride is or the Jurassic
Yeah.
Park. I would when I was younger, I'd close my eyes the entire ride and just wait for the drop because it was terrifying. They looked so real, you know. And I still close my eyes. But anyway,
What?
I think that how much money do you think they spent on that after credit scene for her to just twerk with Megan Thee Stallion, and it still just did not look great?
I know she got cake though.
She was
I saw a
moving that
screenshot
thing.
of it.
Yeah.
I saw a screenshot of it, and I was like,
She was moving that thing.
I've never seen Megan Thee Stallion look inferior in that way.
It's true.
No, and the best part was the last line after they're done dancing. She was like, "I will kill for you, Megan Thee Stallion." She's like, "Tone it down." The episode ends. I'm like, "All right, I'm having
That's
fun.
funny.
I'm having fun."
That's fine.
So with regards to this episode, and we mentioned it, shows like House of the Dragon, Rings of Power, which is on now. I guess it just came out early. It's
Yes.
on. It came out
no
at
way.
6 o'clock.
9
our-
p.m.
our
Eastern.
time.
I will be
Yeah,
watching
9
that when I go home.
It's
Oh,
on.
Paul, you have
And-
to text me right after, dude.
And then in a few weeks,
I was so
we
jealous
get
of-
Andor. We'll get the first 3 episodes of
Oh,
Andor. I just felt like this show is going to kind of get lost in the shuffle.
I think you're right.
Not until Daredevil comes. When Daredevil comes, everybody's gonna be talking.
I think
about
that's fair.
Right,
They
right,
will be.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me know
New
when
suit.
it happens.
It's
He's
true.
a
My
We'll
Let me
talk
know
about
when
it
it
next week.
We'll
Nah,
maybe.
I think that'll be the big scene. Could be Kingpin. That's the hiring the boss or the boss that's hiring the guards. Roll into maybe that'll be the after credit as you see Daredevil in costume. We went back and forth trying to see do we see Matt Murdock first or Daredevil first?
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to kind of see what happens.
I think we see Murdoch.
We see
Murdoch.
Murdock.
Gonna get murdered.
I think we see him first before Daredevil. I think
Heard.
he'll show up as like a lawyer, and then all of a sudden we'll see him, and she's like, "Oh, you're a
I
superhuman."
want to ask
too."
you guys a question about Bruce.
Banner.
So yes,
Wayne.
So yes,
Masha Wayne.
So there's been a
Springsteen.
lot of talk on the internet since Endgame where they're like, I want the Hulk to be
The Hulk.
the Hulk again. And
Yeah.
for the longest time, I was like, nah, he's cool as the position he's in. Like, he's smart, he's evolved.
Hulk, yeah.
But I think I have now arrived to the point where I want to see him be that intense, powerful wrecking ball of a character again, like he is in Immortal Hulk.
Like
He
Megan
isn't-
Thee Stallion.
Exactly like
I was
Megan
gonna
Thee
say
Stallion.
this show is gonna piss you off then because he is not.
No,
that.
it's not. It doesn't make me mad. Like I understand this is not the show to do this in. Like this is not Frank. You're gonna eat the fly. This is not the show to make him go like crazy berserker, fighting like demons and stuff like that. It's like he does in Immortal Hulk and things like that. It's not gonna happen in this show. But I would like to see Hulk come to that kind of. Now it's attacking me. Come to that point. I'm not gonna eat it like Frank was.
I'll be over there in a second.
But that's where I want the Hulk to get back to in maybe his own property or whatever they
you wanna
do
see him
with him.
Hulk out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see him be the Hulk. Which Hulk do we love?
Yeah.
The one that punched the giant space whale.
Exactly. We don't not like Professor Hulk, but
You know exactly what I'm
you know what
talking
I'm saying?
about.
Like,
I like Smart Hulk the same way I like Ed Munster from the Munsters. Like Ed Munster is the Smart Hulk of Frankenstein. You know
so
what I mean?
you
Like,
don't want to see him.
No, I do want to see him rage out, but I don't want it to be reverted to what he was in like
Well,
Ragnarok. I would love to see him go, this is really, really starting to piss me off. Like, and he gets really, and then you see that rage,
Right.
but he's still like Smart Hulk through the rage. Like,
Have
I
you
would love
read
to see
any
that.
of them?
You want to see him wear glasses the whole time?
The most recent thing that I've read
get
was
broke,
World
yeah.
War Hulk.
I would recommend reading Immortal Hulk because he
It's
is
great.
that intelligent Hulk in that,
cool.
but he is also the raging monster.
Al Ewing,
He,
baby.
like, it's
Yeah.
incredible.
Oh,
I'll
It's
check
so
it out
good.
because I just got done reading World
sounds
War
pretty cool.
Hulk after.
just fly, man.
Damn, I can't get anything past anyone. So anyway, I was
missed it.
reading World War Hulk, and because him going to Sakaar, and I was like, I wonder if they're going to adapt that. And then I read it, I was like, they are not adapting that one. He comes back to Earth wanting to kill everybody. He is not happy, so I don't know if that's actually going to happen in this show.
Well, you know, the good thing about this particular episode, and all three actually, is anything is open. And like with the ship coming down from that planet, you know, and causing the accident in the first episode to begin with, that kind of teases a little bit of the World War Hulk sort of vibe. So it could possibly go that direction. There's a million different directions. You know, that's what's kind of scary and good at the same time about this particular shows, because what's going to happen I was reading somewhere that Haley Steinfeld, I think that's her name, Kate Bishop.
Yeah.
Oh, she is expected to return. So
in this, or
I don't know.
Oh, like just period?
Yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah,
in phase 4. So it's like, okay, well, is she gonna, you know, maybe, you know, with the Kingpin angle, is that gonna?
I think that'll be the connecting of the dots.
There's got to be some sort of, you know, either team up that's gonna maybe come along down the line, or some sort of. We got Abomination.
I thought they were going to do the Thunderbolts when he was talking about his 7 friends.
Right.
Yeah.
I thought that was the whole, like, they're doing Thunderbolts. He's talking about the rest of them.
Soulmates and not cellmates.
Right.
Yeah.
And then
that threw me off for a second.
And then when they showed them, I was like, oh, that's just he has like a cult following. Like, okay. Right. And they put that to bed. So I'm sure we're going to see him again in the show, because they do show a clip of him in like a group therapy thing, like in the trailer. So I'm sure they'll show that probably.
On the Thunderbolts note, they could definitely still do Thunderbolts, especially because in the comics it's called the Thunderbolts, but Thaddeus Ross is not the person who puts that team together.
No.
It's Baron Zemo.
Yeah.
And he puts that team together. And I think Thaddeus Ross is like kind of like an Amanda Waller to that team at some points, but that's really Baron Zemo's team, and they still have that character. I can't remember the gentleman's name.
I think it's going to be Val now.
Yeah.
What was the gentleman's name who played Thaddeus Ross?
William Hurt.
William Hurt. He's passed away, so obviously he's not going to be in any portion of that like that, which is sad. But they can still do that group and do it justice to the way they do in the
Julia
comics.
Louis-Dreyfus, she's playing
Valentina.
So that will probably be sort of the Amanda Waller.
So do you think we'll never get a Red Hulk?
No, I don't. Well,
no, I don't think so.
I
would spoil this for this guy, but we'll wait till he sees
I'm not concerned with the spoilers.
Well, they show towards the end of the episode, they show the Wrecking Crew.
Yeah.
Okay. Those guys have been known in the past to work with Kingpin.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they're trying to get her DNA or a blood sample, and I think that's going to lead into them developing and doing trials that's going to create a Red Hulk. And it's going to be like their way around of not involving Ross. That's what I think is going to happen.
I like that.
They could just bring back Sam Elliott. Where's Sam Elliott at? Is he
right here? Yeah, they just plug him in.
I'm driving my Dodge.
That would be so funny.
Isn't he the dad or the grandpa on Yellowstone or something? I've never seen Yellowstone. I don't know, but I'm assuming he'd be on that show.
You
Right?
can't carry a gun.
Yeah,
I'm not even saying you can't own a gun. All I'm saying is you can't carry a gun in town.
Wow, Tombstone callback.
Yeah,
That's a good Tombstone.
That was good.
Anyway,
he's really good.
Yeah, that was
He's really good.
How excited are you? How excited are you? Have you been watching House of the Dragon?
I have not. No.
Okay. How excited are you for Rings of Power?
Well, honestly, looking at the trailers, they look amazing. Mm-hmm. And just being I would say a casual fan of Lord of the Rings, that whole thing. I've never read any of the books. I've just watched the movies.
You're outnumbered in the room, by the way, by a couple of them.
So I like how it felt accessible to someone like me. It didn't feel like I was lost. Like, oh, well, who's that character? Who's that character? It looks like, because if I'm correct, I think I'm correct when I say it's situated before all of a long time,
about 2,000 years before,
kind of like Old Republic, Star Wars.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of like way before. So that makes it so much more approachable to guys like me who, you know, may have just seen the movies, the 6 movies, and never read the books. And the CG was impressive. The scale, scope,
looks good.
Is it way before The Hobbit?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Because The Hobbit's only about 70 or so years before the Lord of the Rings that we know and love.
Right.
You do.
It's set way before then. It's like before Sauron died, which was thousands of years before the events of the Lord of the Rings.
It takes
Have the rings been made?
This is what the
This
show is
guy's
about.
watched the first 2
So
episodes.
I've seen the
He
first
saw
2
the
episodes.
Oh, this guy.
So
Yeah,
this
this
takes
guy.
place about 2,000 years before everything happens, and it's incredible. I will say this: I am more biased towards Lord of the Rings.
Of course,
I
sure.
do love Lord of the Rings more than I do Game of Thrones because I believe if there was no Lord of the Rings, there would be no Game of Thrones.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
on
True.
TV.
Yeah.
So I know, but George R.R. Martin has gone out and said a lot of my characters and the things I write were based out of Lord of the Rings.
He's George R.R. Martin because of J.R.R. Tolkien.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's why-
you go from
Really?
Yeah.
Whatever.
from Tolkien
They're
to
letters,
Martin.
bro.
Anyway, so they start off with the first episode is really exposition.
What do you
and
mean,
letting you
Donovan
know-
R.R. Fulmer?
I'm a writer now. It's about dragons, boobs, and blood. Anyway, but it takes place.
That was
like I
George
said-
R.R. Martin's thing.
Right, that was
The
George
boobs
R.R. Martin.
thing was George R.R. Martin.
Yeah, I was trying to blend the two.
I got him confused. I'm sorry, Donovan.
That's okay. I'm used to it at this point. So it takes place 2,000 years before, and they show you in Valar. They show everything happening in Valar before, and the battle with Morgoth, who Sauron served
You already
before
lost
he
me, man.
became Sauron. So there's a guy named Morgoth who was this ultimate being in Valar, which is like pretty much like heaven. He's pretty much like the devil.
Okay.
And Sauron was his most loyal person, and Morgoth hated chaos and calamity. He always wanted control, and control meant that he would put people enslaved, because if they were out of control or they had their own free thought and free will, that they were chaos. They brought chaos to the world. So he was evil, very, very evil. And there was a battle between the elves and him, who took all of these old elves and made them orcs. That's where orcs come from.
Okay.
So Morgoth is defeated. They show that Morgoth being defeated. They show the battle, and it is
Wow, that's cool.
unbelievable.
I'm sure it's probably
And
cool.
then there's a part where they show, but his most loyal follower, Sauron, lived. And you see all of these orcs like just going nuts and like freaking out. And they do this slow, like, swish pan through the orcs, and then they hit these steps, and all of a sudden you see Sauron walking up the steps, and like his silhouette is out, and it is like, oh my god,
It's like Coachella.
We've never seen Sauron like this before,
So
like ever.
that's the guy. That's not the wizard.
No, that's Saruman.
Okay, so the other dude,
Okay,
But
sir,
so
trying to find out what's going on, man.
I'm gonna try to break it down in like a little more
down.
layman's terms. So there
I'm
are
lame now.
there are spirits. That's not really what I meant, but okay. So there's spirits which are considered godlike beings.
Okay.
Right. And there are levels to these godlike beings. Without throwing a bunch of weird words around to confuse you, there's the level that Morgoth is on, which there are a few of his kind. He was the most powerful of his kind, and he was corrupted and tried to take over Middle-earth for himself. He had a servant who was a lesser of the gods,
Right.
but still a god.
Like Zeus and then
So there's like, think
Hercules.
about it like this. There's like 2 tiers of gods.
Right.
The top one is Morgoth. The top of the bottom one is Sauron.
Okay.
Sauron is the same type of god / spirit that Gandalf and Saruman are.
Okay.
they're like
those are their
homies, and Galadriel.
That's is
And
Galadriel?
Galadriel.
I think Galadriel's just an elf.
She graduates.
Oh, well, in the show, I guess it's a little bit different.
I love that. She graduates.
She got
So,
her GED.
does that make sense?
No, it does.
And
it
that's
does.
why when Gandalf
God's
dies
certificate.
in the movies, that's how he comes back. He goes back to his ancestral, like, spiritual form, and the other gods send him back and say, you got to take Saruman's place as the head of the wizards.
Oh,
And
Because
now-
Sauron was corrupted by Sauron.
Right, exactly.
So the show follows Galadriel, like right out of the beginning. She is like, they're like, yeah, this is peacetime. The elves have killed everyone they need to kill, and we're good. Everything's peace. And she's like, no, Sauron's still out there, guys. He's still out there, and he killed my brother. And She-Hulk. And Sauron leaves his mark on her brother, which is a circle with a big slash through it, so it looks like an eye. And you're starting to see this symbol show up at certain places, and she's trying to chase him, and the king of the high elves pretty much tells her
Gilgalad?
like, yeah, he pretty much tells her like, no, this is peacetime. You're going back to Valar, and on their way to Valar or the land to the land of the Undying Seas, the gates open for them to be going, and she just jumps off the ship and says, nope, I'm not doing that. I gotta go kill Sauron. He's still out there. So there's this rumbling that's going on, and then Elrond is her best friend.
Oh, okay.
And they show Elrond talking to her, and he's sent on special assignment by the king, and pretty much tells him, hey, I need you to go to the elven blacksmith's part, and I need you to meet with my friend Celebrimbor. There's a time of peace, and
That's my favorite name.
He has an idea for the rest of Middle Earth during this peacetime, and that's really all I'll say from there.
Okay. It's the first 2 episodes that are going to be out tonight.
Yes.
And then it's going to be weekly on Fridays.
Yes.
And they've spent
I'm gonna give it a shot.
They spent $250 million.
No,
on this
they spent $1 billion. It was $100 million an episode.
Goodness.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. Most expensive TV show to date.
I wonder if they spent $1 billion.
I just
bought
some neon lights from Amazon.
You can see,
Yours got
guys,
stolen.
you can see it in this. So I watched it last night, and it's on the big screen, and I'm so happy that I did that. I'm not happy because now I'm like, oh, cool! I can't wait to go watch this on my iPad now. It's like the worst way to start out. But it was the scale of it was I couldn't believe what I was watching. I was like, this is a television show. This is a television show.
I think from a visual effects standpoint, the thing I am most excited to see updated is the Balrog, the big fire demon from the first Lord of the Rings. He's at the end of one of the trailers. There's a few of them like in the world, and they're all kind of like after Morgoth dies, they're all kind of hidden and is secluded. Most of them have died. And I've heard some people, like purists of the books, complaining. They're like, well, there can't be a Balrog in this time because they were all lost and that would change. We could see a Balrog on screen again. That's one of those things that they change where it's like, come on, we want to see that. We want to see that because that moment in the book and the first movie is one of my favorite moments ever, where it's probably one of the most quoted things ever too, where Gandalf stops him at the bridge and fights him. That I cannot wait to see something like that. And just a Balrog in the open.
That's my
taking
favorite
people
scene.
out.
That's my
You
favorite
want to get even more confused,
Thundercats.
Sonny? A Balrog is technically the same thing that Gandalf is.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I went home. So I went home after I watched the episodes, and I was like, I'm gonna go home and watch House of Dragons, just see how they compare and what I can sort of come to expect within the next few weeks of watching these shows side by side. And I got to tell you, it looks like, and I told you guys in our group chat, the House of Dragons looks like a CW show compared to what Lord of the Rings is doing on the scale that they're doing.
You know what? From YouTubers, Twitter,
like that.
everybody out there, I've heard that the production value and visually, they said that the show looks fantastic.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I mean, from the stuff that we've seen in the trailers, I mean, it looks incredible.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to the show.
They have the origin of the hobbits in the show, and it's really, really cool. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's pretty cool.
This is the last thing I'll get into, like super lore wise. One thing that the books do that the movies really did not, outside of the Shire, the people of Middle Earth do not know what a hobbit is. They like see Frodo and them, and they're like, what? That's why the tree in the movie is like, are you orcs? What are you?
Yeah.
Because they don't know what hobbits are, because
Right.
they're newer to the world than the other things.
And they play that.
wow.
They play into the show. They're almost like nomads. They're called half-foots, and they're of legend. Like people say, be careful for the half-foots. They might be out in the woods, but they hide from people. They hide from men, so you never get to see them. So there is a point, I think, in the show where they're going to have the hobbits that we're following be the ones who find the Shire and stay there, because they're nomads and they constantly move. But something happens in the show that forces one of the families not to, and I'm not going to say the last name of the family.
Okay.
I mean, all
And
the
it's
names
not
are long
Baggins.
enough, bro.
It's not Baggins.
Celebrimbor.
It's not Baggins. You'll for sure pick up on it, Paul.
Okay.
The name.
I'm hyped for it. I'm excited to watch it.
It's Smith.
Guys, it's really, really good.
I'm excited to watch
I
it.
was very, like, kind of nervous going into it, and after watching those episodes, I'm very excited. The first episode is great exposition. I said at the beginning of the show, they have this like way of showing you Middle Earth, almost like Indiana Jones-esque with the map, and they jump back and forth to where Valar is, to how it's proportioned to Middle Earth, and where everything is. Like the Southlands are men, the North is the not the elves, but the dwarves, and where everyone's located. So you actually get to see like the regions of where everyone's at.
so excited to watch
They
this.
show like the first part of Rohirrim, like before horses. Whose horse is that? They show that whole deal. Sorry, had to do a little internet meme there. Couldn't help it. But it's very, very, very good. And after watching House of Dragons, I'm like, okay, this is going to be tough for them to try and match because the production value, as far as story is concerned, there's still much left to be said for both shows as far as where the story is going to take it and who's going to have a better story, but we shall see.
What I think is kind of a cool thing, and Marcus was saying that he doesn't have a lot of background context to what Lord of the Rings is about.
Same.
These are cool, kind of both of these series with House of Dragon and I keep wanting to say Power Rings, Power of the Rings, the Ring of Power is they're both like kind of good entry points. Because I've talked to a lot of people who are like, I don't want to watch Game of Thrones. And they keep saying, like, I'm not interested. I don't want to watch Game of Thrones. It's like, well, House of the Dragon is 2 episodes. You can get into it and check it out. If you don't want to watch it, don't watch it. You know, and this is kind of a cool entry point, I think, for this because it's set so far back before anything in The Hobbit takes place.
It feels like you don't have to know everything.
Garnering new fans, basically.
That's what I feel about House of the Dragon as well. There's 2 really great prequel shows coming out that if you're not fans of the original, maybe you can get into this, kind of do some homework, and then it'll give you all the time to go binge watch whatever. One of my coworkers was like, oh, the new Game of Thrones show looks awesome, but I didn't watch any of the series. Should I watch the original one? I'm like, bro, absolutely. You're not going to know what's going on. But, and I think about it, I'm like, if you kind of watch this, it'll get you eager to understand, like, okay, why aren't there any Targaryens in the other series? And why is Dany so important? Why is there only 2 dragons? You know, so, I don't know. I'm a Game of Thrones fan. He's a Lord of the Rings fan. You know what I mean?
But I'm also a Game of Thrones fan. Like, you know that I'm a Game of Thrones fan, right?
I know.
Okay, oh my God. Sweating. Sweetie, you are sweating.
I'm always sweating, bro.
In about a week, Sonny, we get to, we're going to probably getting more announcements. Disney Plus Day is officially next Thursday.
Okay.
Next weekend is D23, and there is something scheduled for the morning, Saturday morning next week, where they're going to be doing some type of a mashup of a panel of Star Wars and Marvel and 20th Century Fox. We're going to be getting some trailers and probably some more announcements. They said at San Diego Comic-Con that we're going to be getting more announcements in regard to Phase 6. And I wanted to ask you guys real quickly, just kind of go around, what do you think that we haven't had announced we could be getting announced? They saw the 5 or 6 spots. Pick a show or a movie, whatever you guys want to do. But I'm going to start with you.
You know, there were a couple of specials that were announced that haven't been really talked about.
The Werewolf by Night thing?
Yeah. So
and that hasn't happened. Nothing for that.
Right. So for selfish reasons, I'm hoping that could be redemptive to the movie.
Okay. No, for sure. Yeah, absolutely.
You know? So there's that, and then we'll probably see more. I'm hoping more Ahsoka Tano. You know, more Star Wars in terms of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
Maybe some more Obi-Wan.
So we're getting that documentary from the behind the scenes.
That's going to be on Plus Day, along with Donovan's favorite, Pinocchio, starring Tom Hanks. Donovan, what about you?
Pinocchio.
That's it.
I figured.
Tom Hanks.
I would really love to see something with almost like how Kevin Feige announced the new the third Captain America movie. It was supposed to be one thing, and he was like, you know what? I don't like that name. Why don't we change it to Civil War? And everyone was like, oh my God.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Pretty awesome stuff. I'm hoping that we get something like that in the next phase. I'm hoping we get like a Blade announcement and then like Blade 2, the Midnight Suns.
Oh yeah, Midnight
That's
Suns.
announced or something to that
Something
extent.
like that.
I don't think we're going to get a Blade 2 within phase 5 and phase 6. I think that might be a little too ambitious, but I'm hoping for something along that line. But really what I'm hoping for is X-Men. Announce the
something
X-Men.
mutant related.
Yeah. Something mutant related. Give me give me a casting of who's going to be our new mutants, or give us not the new mutants.
I was going to say, don't
give us that again.
Please not.
Give us a casting, but I think they're going to give us a casting.
I was going to mention something about that.
Shirt is amazing, dude.
I think they'll give us casting of the Fantastic Four.
Yeah,
because they've already rumored that one guy,
Matt Shackman,
from
you,
Badgley. And they've.
I hope not, bro.
You don't like him?
No, because he wants John Krasinski.
I do too.
Yeah.
But I mean, like we already got him.
Well, I want him to actually have a role. Not some cookie cutter nonsense in a movie where those characters in that movie, that's all I'm going to say.
Paul,
could
how about
literally
you?
have been anybody. They could have been anybody.
Paul, what do you want to see for the D23 announcements?
He was going to tell us anyway.
He is.
I don't want to see anything. No. I want to see... This is a little unsubstantiated, not entirely though. I want to see a Rian Johnson Star Wars movie announcement for the trilogy they talked about doing with him. I don't care whether it's Old Republic. I don't care if it's in the future. I don't care. I want more Rian Johnson Star Wars stuff. Right. That is what I want.
Okay.
That's right. They haven't really touched any of the Dark Horse, like, from the comic universe, any of the Dark Horse stuff.
Legacy,
the Legacy and Legends.
Do you think they'll announce Taika Waititi's?
That would be good.
I thought I heard that.
Well, you heard today.
He's done with Thor.
He's done with Thor
because of the bad reviews on the last one.
Love and Thunders.
It was good.
Well, it's because he got all of his buddies together and they just wrote a bunch of jokes that they all thought was funny and no one else would.
Exactly, literally.
I've made movies like that and showed it to my other friends. I go, "Isn't that funny?" And they're like,
absolutely
no.
not.
I was like, well, we all thought it was funny. Screw you. We're out of here.
Yeah.
Sonny, what about you?
If we're talking Star Wars, I want to hear some more about Acolyte. That's probably been the thing that I've been most stoked for. Seeing like some dark side stuff, you know. Secret Wars. We haven't heard anything.
Secret Invasion.
Anything.
That's supposed to be out like the begining of the year.
Right, and there's nothing. So I would like to see, even if Sam Jackson comes on
a little
for a
Sam
panel.
Jackson action.
Yeah, you know, just a little something. It's a little something. Yeah, I think for me, we were talking about Blade. It would be amazing to see even just him in a costume or with the glasses and the sword, something.
And the teeth.
Yeah, dude. Just you can give. You didn't even have him in the after credit. You just had his voice with what is his name, Dane Whitman in the Eternals. And for me, that was
I can't
dope.
wait for more. Oh, you know what?
Was dope.
That was the highlight of the movie.
More Black Knight stuff is what I want to hear about.
Bro.
Black Knight, Blade. So
if we're talking if Blade could be a movie, and then if Blade 2 is Midnight Suns, bro, it's game over, bro.
Yeah.
Game over.
It seems like all the comics are kind of going that way.
I would
in
love
terms
that.
of like with the Ghost Rider stuff. The new Ghost Rider's killing. Can't keep that in stock. It's just
really
That's what I'm hoping to see in the MCU here pretty soon is a solid Ghost Rider.
I liked the
because then you can introduce Mephisto the proper way.
the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Ghost Rider. I liked him a lot.
He was good.
I liked him a lot.
Was Reyes.
Reyes.
Right?
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we have like those 5 or 6 spots that they left open that they said they were going to make future announcements. I don't know if they're going to give us 6 future announcements when we get to Plus Day and D23 next weekend. Yeah. I'm hoping that we get the trailer or the footage that they showed people at San Diego Comic-Con of Guardians and or Quantum Mania. I hope we get that stuff because I think they showed. I don't know if they showed a trailer, but they showed some footage of Secret Invasion. Oh, maybe we get a couple of those trailers. Pay attention to all of our socials next weekend because we're going to be on top of that stuff as it gets announced. Because Plus Day is next Thursday, we could start getting announcements and or things start to get leaked that day.
Before the show.
Right before. So just
we'll be on top of it.
Be on the lookout for that because we're going to be nerding out all weekend next weekend.
Per usual.
And then just based on like what they're reprinting as well, like so you got Illuminati coming back into print.
Yeah, see, this is interesting because you have a different view on what might be popular towards everybody else.
Right. So I'm looking at what they're trying to do, what they're setting up from a comic perspective, because it seems like whenever they start a new show or announce a new show, they reprint some of the old stuff to give new followers or new readers some background.
A well-oiled machine.
Yeah, exactly. Like She-Hulk, her series right now is funny. It's great. So with them reprinting like Illuminati, the Planet Hulk omnibus has been solicited to come be reprinted again.
Sick.
Oh, that's interesting. I never even thought about that. You might have an indication of like what may be coming down the pipeline from a movie standpoint.
I was saying. Yeah.
Because you see what's being solicited and what's coming out like to be stocked in stores. That's crazy.
Well, for context, Marcus, can you tell everybody what you do?
I was gonna say because this guy's been awesome the whole show.
But like that's super important to point out here.
I sling comics on the side on the street.
Yeah,
not on the street.
I'm behind the wind.
He's our comic dealer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
He's
so,
my best friend.
Yeah, so oh, thank you, Frank. Yeah.
Aw.
So yeah, I sell comics. I work for Maximum Comics.
Shout outs.
2 locations. The northwestern location is actually going to be moving.
It's moving.
Yes,
what
mid-October,
I go to,
November-ish.
That's where Paul Donovan go.
Yeah. So, but don't worry.
It's just up the street. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just on the other side of the freeway. So
I was talking to
By Walmart.
Army about it. I believe his name is. Yeah. I was talking to him about it. Yeah.
Yeah, Arminio's the man. He's the man.
He's cool.
I got $2,000 if we can get that Hulk in here, man.
They couldn't get rid of the Hulk. Yeah, I don't think it's.
So I am curious.
You might want to reach out to the owner.
I am curious about this though, Marcus. So, like, what are some other things that you're seeing down the pipeline as far as what's being printed, and you kind of go, "Oh, I see where they're kind of going here."
Right. So they're definitely there's a myriad of epic collections, omnibuses, hardcovers. They're doing a lot of reprints and facsimile reprints of older issues that give like context and background to some of these characters that are less than as accessible or familiar. She-Hulk being one of them. Before the She-Hulk show, I mean, we had a reprint of the classic omnibus. We had the John Byrne stuff is still in print. You have the new ongoing series that's going on. So they tend to rev up. And so, but before the show drops or whatever, same thing with Hawkeye. They did the same thing with Hawkeye.
I'm sure. Moon Knight,
WandaVision, everything. There's Moon Knight everywhere.
Yeah.
You couldn't find Moon Knight before the show.
Right, and now it's everywhere.
Now it's everywhere.
Yeah.
So, hey, I'm a fan.
I'm a fan.
I'm good. I'm good. I love Mr. Knight. Not the one in the movie. In the show, but
The other one.
Yes.
The real one.
Yeah, the comic one. The Warren Ellis
Which
one.
one?
The Warren Ellis one. Yes.
Warren Ellis.
Yes.
Heard.
Man, I
Yeah,
hope that your birthday today was a good day.
It was.
Happy birthday, Marcus!
you.
I didn't
Birthday,
realize it
Marcus.
was his birthday.
Oh,
Everybody in the chat, wish this man a happy birthday.
Well, I don't know how I wasn't informed, or I didn't pay attention.
No, it's okay.
He's a humble man. He didn't want the shout out.
Yeah, I usually, will go on and be like, yeah, it's my birthday on Instagram or whatever. I didn't say anything. I just was like, but I still got a bunch of texts this morning. And
Tacos
everything.
and beer
People,
on me.
Yeah, let's go. Appreciate that.
Wow.
But yeah. So Midnight. So yeah, a lot of Ghost Rider stuff is starting to get reprinted.
Sick.
Illuminati, the World War Hulk universe stuff is getting reprinted. I mean, we got Thor. Probably won't be. I mean, hopefully, something. Yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with Thor later down the line, but we still have all that reprinted. Not sure if they're gonna stop now that that movie's out, but hopefully it keeps going. I love Thor.
Yeah.
Man, that's why She-Hulk is interesting, because it literally can go anywhere. There's literally something that you can point to that says, oh, maybe they're going to go this way. They're going to go this way.
Super cool.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So the options are
so rad.
Yeah.
Pleasure having
It's
you
cool
on.
to get a perspective of that.
No,
because
seriously,
we
that's why I'm
don't.
like, I don't know. That's rad.
We're nerdy and we're crazy and we nerd out every week about everything and yell at each other.
Yeah.
But it's cool to get a perspective from a different angle.
Yeah.
Right.
That we see it
from the more business, like, cash in
Right. Yeah.
sort of angle. Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Guys, we're thankful that you take the time to check us out each and every week. We appreciate Marcus. We appreciate all of you taking the time to hang out with us. Shout out to Big A. Austin is in here hanging out with us as well.
He's in there. Hey, man.
He's vaping or something. He's hanging. So,
This man is not vaping, bro.
Paul, how can they get at us at those socials?
Well, be careful. I
Tinder
didn't realize how careful you had to be in this corner. I'm over here knocking posters off the wall and stuff. Quan's crying because
It's a
Sunny's
dangerous
screaming
spot.
over there.
Shane doesn't move. He's like frozen.
Where can they
No,
find
yeah, he's
us? You can find us on Twitter at @into_West Comics or what? At @into_ Comics.
What is this man talking about?
I don't know what I'm talking about. @into_ Comics, Instagram @into the West Comics, and then right here on YouTube. Like, follow, subscribe, comment, all those things, and go to Apple Music, Spotify, wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find us there. Quan is killing me right now.
Well, that's because that part's my outro. That's why I was like, damn it.
Okay.
Sonny, what do you got?
Chapstick.
Everything Paul just said.
Yeah, you know what I mean. No, it's a pleasure having you on, Austin. Thank you for coming. I hope you guys stay around. Come by. You guys are more than welcome anytime. It's always a blast on Thursdays, man. Especially when we have good stuff to talk about. You know? So Good to have you, boys.
Paul's redecorating.
What about you, Galadriel?
You're calling me an elf woman?
Marcus was listening. Pay attention.
I'll take it.
Hey, I was taking notes, man.
There is light. That's all I'll say. That's really what it is. I can't wait for Lord of the Rings to come out for you guys to see it. Go read some books. Go watch some shows. Go kiss a baby. Hopefully your own and not Ezra Miller.
Oh my word!
Kissing a baby or feeding a bullet, rather.
Oh my days.
Anyway, he's better now. It's fine.
Why? Because he has a mustache?
He's all set.
Because he apologized, so everything's good now. He's no longer evil. Don't you know that?
The Flash movie's for sure going to come out now.
Yeah, he's fine. That was just a little hiccup. He's just a knucklehead, you know?
Yeah, just release the movies. So
Apparently,
we can all see what's
that
going
movie
on.
tested really well. Which,
It did.
if that movie was great, it would be just the most chaotic thing ever for
sure.
the entire world.
For
And
sure.
I would
They didn't know what to
absolutely
do.
Oh my
adore
God,
it.
bro.
They're like, we got to
not.
make him crazy again. Take some hostages.
Yeah.
Marcus, what do you
Here's
got?
this baggie. Take this. I don't know what this is.
Oh man. Oh,
What you got for the people?
Well, first of all, thank you guys for inviting me.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Anytime.
This was awesome. Read comics. I am a big fan of reading and it just makes my heart just jump for joy when I see young people, especially
Why'd you point
coming
to me?
in. Huh?
Don't point to me. What do you mean? I'm 30.
We're not.
Marcus, if
We're
you
not
had
young.
one book to suggest to go pick up to people this week
That they're not
what would it
talking
be?
about.
That they're not talking about yet. Wow. Well, you guys have had him on the show, Philip Kennedy Johnson.
The man, the myth, the legend.
I hate to play into the previous
franchise.
shows, but
Nah, man.
bro. So the
man's a legend,
World Apocalypse came out this week.
Yes.
The one shot that kind of
Steve
bookends.
Beach cover.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
It's good.
Paul's about to knock over a painting.
Yeah, I kind of
Let me move it away.
yeah. I've been really following that series because I've been kind of just jonesing for a good, solid Superman story. I'm a
Nice.
big Superman fan.
Yeah.
I love it. It's
So-
awesome.
you
I
and
don't know if you
Paul.
can tell.
And he's teasing that, he goes, you guys have been waiting for Superman to get back to Earth. It's
Yeah,
coming.
Yeah.
No,
good.
he's a great guy.
It's not even fair at
And
this
yeah,
point.
it's-
It's not fair
I
at this
mean,
point, dude.
And
We're
I kind
huge
of
fans of the guy. So
I kind of wish there were more people who were into the 007 stuff too, because I actually have 007 on pull, and it's like up until now, I think they're gonna make him ongoing, but
Yes.
up until now it's been like 2-3 issues, and then another writer or creative team comes over and takes over the book, and they do another story. So it's kind of like how DC is doing with Flash, what they were doing, where it was like every 3 or 4 issues it'd be somebody else writing
Yeah.
it, and all of those, even though that's how they were doing it, they've all been solid. They've all been solid. If you're a James Bond fan, man, yeah, check any of those out. And then they have a little hardcover that collects all of Warren Ellis's stuff. I'm a big Warren Ellis fan as well.
Sick.
It's really good. But I have to say I'm very excited for Power Ring.
Lord of the Power Rings.
Lord of
the Power Rings.
Power of the Ring Pops.
I am, and I think it's because, like I said, it has the 3 things that I need. It has the accessibility, it has the production value, and it's interesting. It intrigues me because I am a fan of the other movies, but it's a welcome break from the Disney Plus stuff.
The capes.
I thought you
The
were going to say
capes.
because Donovan and Paul got you excited about it.
That too. Well, I
maybe,
mean,
I don't know.
because Donovan was he's got some of the inside information on it, so it's kind of
It's intriguing.
It's
I'm
intriguing.
same
Like,
way.
I'm game because I need a break from the capes. I've been on a big Punisher kick lately, just because I want to get a little away from the capes a little bit,
Yeah.
and just do some ground hero stuff. So,
Yeah, dude.
So yeah, Hawkeye, Punisher, all those guys, and then Garth Ennis. He already said he's gonna be doing a miniseries later on this year
Sweet.
for Punisher, so he's coming back to Punisher.
Like that.
Yeah,
Like
so,
that a lot.
Yeah,
Garth Ennis is at Amazing, isn't he?
he is coming
It's
to
going to be amazing Las Vegas
Ooh.
Comic Con. We're going to be at a Las Vegas Comic Con.
Show
You going to
will.
get the day off over there to give me a call, Jay?
I will be there Sunday because it looks like
We'll be there Sunday.
Yeah, we'll be
I'll
there
be there
Sunday.
Sunday
yeah,
with you.
Yeah,
Nice.
Beautiful.
because Garth Ennis is going to be there. Peter David, those are 2 that I really want to.
Tinian.
Tinian.
Yeah.
The
He's
man.
going to be there. Guys, it's going to be a great time. 2 weeks from tomorrow is Las Vegas Comic Con.
Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much for taking the time to check us out tonight. We appreciate you. Stay tuned for next weekend. We're going to try to talk to Quan and convince him with some treats, maybe a bottle of water, to do an extra bonus D23 reaction show next weekend.
No Starbucks.
We'll see. We keep him hydrated.
No Starbucks.
No Starbies. Have a great night. We love you. Thank you for hanging out with us.
See you guys next week.
Take care, guys. Thank you.